Tech giants are pouring trillions into artificial intelligence, yet many developers writing the code for this boom are watching colleagues receive severance packages. When seeking a safe haven for their capital, many of these workers turn to the traditional fixed deposit. But as this chart illustrates, once you factor in standard inflation and top bracket tax rates, the remaining yield often represents a negative real return. To find actual financial security, a group of industry insiders is moving away from traditional banking. They are putting their money into these windowless, heavily fortified concrete boxes. They are buying shares in data center real estate investment trusts or REITs. By purchasing the buildings that house the servers, they are positioning themselves as the landlords of the internet. Tech workers are realizing that long-term wealth is increasingly tied to owning the physical hardware layer rather than chasing volatility in software stocks. The profitability of these buildings is driven by a massive shift in power consumption. Legacy cloud computing servers required a modest amount of electricity, but modern AI server racks require 10 to 20 times that amount. AI is not a software phenomenon, it is a heavy industry. Training a single model requires clusters of dense silicon chips, drawing tens of thousands of watts per square foot. Standard air cooling is no longer effective at these densities. Running these chips now requires specialized plumbing systems to pump chilled liquid directly to the racks to prevent the hardware from melting. This creates a physical bottleneck. In major hubs like Ashburn and Bengaluru, local utilities are reaching their limits and denying the massive power permits required for new construction. AI server demand shoots upward, while data center supply hits a hard ceiling dictated by the electrical grid. Because of this gap, landlords with powered-up data centers hold significant pricing power, implementing aggressive rent hikes since tenants have nowhere else to go. Ultimately, the revenue generated by the AI revolution is governed by the laws of thermodynamics and the capacity of the power grid. Data center landlords secured this income through a specific contract structure called a triple net lease. Under this structure, the tenant, usually a company like Microsoft or Amazon, pays for more than just the rent. They are responsible for the property taxes, the building insurance, and all maintenance costs. This creates a stream of income for the landlord with very little overhead. With long-term leases including built-in rent escalators, the yield is designed to stay ahead of inflation. Unlike a bank that keeps a portion of your interest, REITs are legally required to distribute at least 90% of their taxable income back to their shareholders in the form of dividends. These assets also provide liquidity that a fixed deposit lacks. You can sell your shares on the market instantly or set up a dividend reinvestment plan to automatically compound your holdings every time a tenant pays rent. For tech workers, these REITs serve as a hedge against industry volatility. If a software company conducts a round of layoffs, the landlord housing that company's servers continues to collect rent and distribute dividends. Building a personal infrastructure fund requires moving past software metrics like PE ratios and adopting the mindset of an industrial owner. Security in this asset class is measured by three specific metrics: occupancy rates that stay above 90%, fully secured power capacity, and geographic diversification into emerging edge computing hubs. Tech employees can spot the winners by looking at technical partnerships. You can see which REITs are future-proofed by evaluating their ability to integrate the liquid cooling systems required for the next generation of chips. The digital economy is fundamentally anchored in physical assets: the concrete, the copper, and the cooling pipes that allow algorithms to exist. If you want to see more deep dive breakdowns of how the modern economy is built, hit the subscribe button. What is your current strategy for protecting your savings from tech sector volatility? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in the next breakdown.